Hey, good morning, brothers and sisters, from Sweden, my home country. So let's see if we get the slides correctly here. F5. Okay. Can I get an okay from the host? Everything's fine?
Yes, it's okay.
Okay. Thank you. First, I want to thank the team, the technical team, the MC, and all the people behind the scene, because I know there's a lot of work, there's a lot of clicking and arranging things. So thank you, everyone who is involved in this today's sermon. I have my precious wife Marit beside me here as a support, and honestly, I feel more comfortable sitting here talking to you than standing in front of you. I'm a little bit more nervous. Anyway, so let's be serious. Today's sermon, Today's sermon will be about, I will change my screen. Okay, so we are in May in the year 2022, and we are still in the year of the Black Tiger. You have seen this screen before, and I wanted to connect this year of the tiger a little bit with Korean tradition before I start the sermon. So I found this on the internet that the Korean tiger has been extinguished, like it has been killed in the past, but there were many tigers in Korea once upon a time. And now there only exists this Siberian tiger. So they have in the zoo, in the Seoul Zoo, in 2009, there's 3 nice little tiger cubs, Dokdo, Yongto, and Jikim were born. And that's nice, they preserve this animal and this nice tradition. And you can see the map up in the right corner that Korea can be imaged like a tiger. Maybe you've seen before. It's nice. Now we come to the sermon. So I was inspired. I'll give you a little bit background. I know that one of the stages, or both stages, are here, so I also direct my talking to you. Holy grounds. We know that we have a long tradition of holy grounds in our church. And Stephen and Barbara, they were 21 years in Kirkonomi. And now Marit and I, we have also been there some 21 years. So I will come to that later in this this sermon. We arranged a holy ground in Kirkonomi also. So we know the holy grounds, they are made for prayer and for basically connecting to the providence in Korea. We also know that True Father, he brought Korean soil from the ground, and he also he put that down at the place of the holy ground, buried it, to sort of bring the Korean soil into the world. And he also took soil from the ground of the country and brought back to Korea. So that's a little bit background to that. So I arranged for a holy ground in Kirkonomi also. I will talk more about that later. So traditionally, True Father, 1965, he went on a world tour to arrange holy grounds. And this is a very famous place in San Francisco called the Twin Peaks. I have been there actually once in my life, and it's a very beautiful mountain, and actually 2 mountains, and you can look down on the city of San Francisco. So there is one of those holy grounds, and here's another one in Denver, Colorado, and 1965. Maybe you have read about this this trip that True Father did with some brothers. I don't know if there were sisters at that time in that event. Anyway, I heard that it was a very challenging trip around the U.S. to make holy grounds, and they had snowfall in the north, and they could not see, so, and they fell asleep. True Father was pushing the providence, so the driver, he fell asleep and he don't know who was driving. He woke up, and they were still on the road. I like this. So many miracles, many spiritual things. Please read about this holy ground trip in the USA. It's really interesting testimony. So a little bit history here. Although True Father himself did not establish a holy ground until 1965, on January 1st, 1963, he wrote the words, holy ground in Chinese characters, and shared with those present his determination and plan to reclaim God's land symbolically first through holy grounds and later by restoring the homeland. It's connected to Korea, this provenance. Yeah? And here are a couple of those early ones already in 1962. I will not read all of them, but you can see they're mostly in Seoul. 5 of those, yeah. And from January 2865 to October 1065, True Father made holy grounds in 39 nations. And you probably heard this about Finland, that he was advised that Finland is communist, East Bloc country, so it's too dangerous to go there. No, they should not go there. This is sort of unofficial rumor, but I know Hanno has also talked about this, and Hanno has been a long time member over from the very beginning. So I believe this is I mean, why wouldn't True Father go to Helsinki if he went to Copenhagen, Stockholm, and Oslo? So it makes sense. Anyway, we have a holy ground in Finland, as you know. So Paul Werner and his wife, they created that later. True Father returned to Korea and created holy grounds in each regional district before establishing the last 7 main holy grounds in Seoul, including the one in Chongpadong. Caring for and using holy grounds. True Father has often emphasized that members should pray at holy grounds as often as possible. In Korea, pledge services, daily morning prayers, or all-night prayer vigils are often held at holy ground. The atmosphere at the holy ground is sacred. Sorry. When we pray at the holy ground, our prayers relate to the historical foundation of comforting God's heart through reclaiming his land. Because of this, prayers offered at holy ground have a great effect. So forming a holy ground, you can find in the tradition book. There's one older tradition book and there's one newer version. And yeah, you can see that. I don't go through the details, but this is sort of symbolic, north, south, west, east. And you are supposed to be quite many people there, 12 members, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and a leader. So that is the proper way to do it, according to tradition. You have holy salt, and you should have also soil from existing holy ground. So the one I created later in Kirkkonummi, I received soil from the Danish Copenhagen holy ground through Lars Nielikort. Okay. Now can we come back to the title, We as Moving Holy Grounds, or We as Holy Grounds. That was the title. So my thinking was like this way, and I hope you don't disagree too much. This is a little bit stretching our tradition a little bit longer. So this is Bengt's thoughts. This is my thoughts about holy grounds is a holy place, of course, but we are also holy if we are blessed. You know, we know that this is a holy blessing, and it creates a connection, opens a door to the spirit world. So my thinking goes like this way: we are also blink holy grounds, and returning resurrection in the principle requires us to act as landing sites, holy grounds for the returning spirits. And we have 5 spiritual senses, and they work as a communication tools. So here's a map of the American holy grounds. I went around 55 places, 1 in each state, I guess. Yeah. In Washington, D.C. And we can see that True Father there standing by the tree, and probably they planted and dug up some of the soil there. And here is Sweden, 1965. He was in Stockholm, and together with, I think to the left is Lady Dr. Kim, and to the right, from our perspective, is Young Moon Kim. And who was behind the camera, I don't know. Okay, there's from Stockholm also. You see a nice old car there from the 60s, Saab and Volkswagen. And this is from a famous place in Stockholm called Katarina Elevator. It's an old elevator, one of the first. You know, in the late 19th century, to make elevators was a new invention. So they made an outdoor elevator. You could go up and look out over Stockholm view. So that's a tourist place that True Father went to. Chungpyong Holy Ground. True Father purchased a sloping mulberry field site in the Chungpyong Lake area, and by his making the first strike with a pickaxe on 17th June 1971, the construction work started. With the completion of the chapel on 12th July 1971, the Chungpyong Holy Ground began its service as a full-scale holy ground. You have loved this place of Chungpyong and made it the way it is now. It is an area that you have sanctified through your offerings. It is a place intermingled with tears of sincerity, where all the nature binds us closer to you. People from all over the world come here to search for you with team. I sincerely hope and pray that you may guide this gathering to become a moment to implant tradition in us and a moment that enables us to appreciate you with an earnest appeal. Thinking that this is a place where the future kingdom of heaven is being revived and where our future happy homes are being built, we know we have to go on. Exhausted, we have to pull ourselves together and go on. Please inspire vigor into our listless eyes. Taking a view beyond a faraway mountain, we have to go on. Let us not become sons and daughters that simply follow the footprints you have left behind, but let us become people that struggle to take the lead in treading the thorny path. And now we're back in Finland. I'm a little bit jumping here and there, but then I hope you're with me all the way. So, you know, this year, 2022, we celebrate the 50-year celebration of the first missionaries coming to Finland. So we got, I'm sorry, I see the color was not the best white color, but I'll read what the text says. So we gathered at the Holy Ground first at this landing site, the terminal where the boat landed from Germany with Ellen and Krista some 50 years ago. And then we walked to the Holy Ground, and we made prayer and made some mansay, I think. And this Holy Ground in Finland was chosen October 9th, 1972 by the Werners.
No,
husband and wife.
it's
Okay, my wife is complaining, but anyway, this is something I have taken from a text, so let it be there. This is a challenge to have your wife 1 meter from you. Okay. Anyway, here you I think you recognize the people here. So we went to this celebration on the 19th of January 2022, and that was exactly 50 years ago when Ellen and Kirsty came from Germany. Okay, and now we come to Kirkkonummi. So you see that I think you recognize me there. So I did this alone, and actually a tradition book says that you can do it alone if you're alone. If you're a lone missionary somewhere in the world, you can still make a holy ground. But I hope we can redo it and more officially with more people later. So this is a challenge for you, Joseph. I give this to you to plan for sanctification. But I did according to the book. I'm holding the book there, tradition book, and I chose this tree. Hannah was with me some couple of months before, about half a year before, and we look at the trees there. So I felt this oak tree was proper. And there's a church. I think you don't see the church, but anyway, this is like the old church in Kirkkonummi, behind that wall on that hill. So it's a nice place, small park area. So this is a memory of you, Stacy family, if you both or one of you is listening to this. This is in honor of your 21 sacrifice in Finland, and I think it's proper to remember you for what you did. Okay. So now we come to the ending. So if we are holy grounds as people also, we are millions of messiahs, and all of mankind finally will be holy grounds, moving holy grounds for the good spirit to connect with us. And I repeat something I shared with you before. 1965, two fathers said, as answer to a question, if you are the Messiah, that was a very direct question. Then he answered, and so are you, and you, and you. You know, I said this before. And the purpose of the coming Lord is that someday all shall be like him, like Christ. So we will have many true parents with small letters worldwide. That is the future. Jesus was sent to the earth, true father said. Jesus was sent to the earth as the one God has been seeking for 4,000 years. Jesus, as a good ancestor of humankind, stood in the position of true parents and persevered in his toilsome work in order to redeem our lives. As Sun Myung Moon, 20th of May, 1956. So the holiest of holy grounds will forever be, of course, true parents and Jesus. They were the first to reach that level. So I come to the summary of this quite short sermon. Let us be those moving, living holy grounds for physical world restoration and spiritual world's returning resurrection. I think it's a good thought. I like this connection. We as holy grounds, we can sort of appreciate our blessing. So final slides now. Let's prepare for the May 5th event, 2023. That's a little bit less than a year from now. We had the last week, we had 2 days, we had a Nordic 3-hour midnight prayer vigil from midnight to 3 o'clock in the morning. And sorry, it was arranged by the Danish church, but I suggested that we should connect to Sweden, and they were very interested. And I also sent it to Joseph in Finland. So I hope you all got this invitation. And the origin of that was, of course, Mike Balcom suggested a couple of weeks ago in the Wednesday prayer that we should do a similar prayer vigil like the leaders 1 month ago that were in Korea, and 2 months asked them to do a 2 nights prayer vigil. One moment. Okay, that was that part, and then it says at the bottom there. So I'm in a 100K group in America and USA, and they, of course, don't know about Mike Balcom's suggestion. So they have arranged a different condition, and they are reading the 1 hour divine principle. I think 100 in 100 days, so 100 times basically, yeah. And that is a condition also for the 2023 event. Okay, let's see, final slides. End of sermon. So please join me in prayer. Thank you, dearest Heavenly Parent. We are so grateful we can gather here for Sunday service and we can share it. I would call it more like sharing service, thoughts and inspiration based on the true parents, providence, and the principle. And I pray that we can all become and be channels for you and for your future Chongelguk providence. I pray that we all take our mission seriously and we do all the conditions to Father expected of us, to do 100K reading every day, and to witness, to do this tribal messiahship mission, and to spread love, to live for others, and to be ideal people, to try to reach the goal of becoming channels for the goodness of your world, of your ideal world. So I pray also, of course, for the for the ending of the wars, all the struggles around the world, and let it not stop providence in any way, but heal this world and heal all those broken hearts now through the wars. And we believe there is a good future somewhere in this tunnel, and we can see the light. We have true parents, we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So all this I pray with our precious brothers and sisters here on Zoom and also in Maunala. And we are so happy we can be truly we can be a good family of brothers and sisters. This I pray now in our precious names, blessed centers, families. Adieu. Before I end, I want to share one more picture. This is from the beach here in Sweden where we stay at the present time. So it's the beauty of nature here that is really special for me, at least. Okay, thank you for listening. I hope you can give any feedback. I'm open for any, whatever feedback you want to give me. So please contact me. Okay, I'll stop sharing now, and the host, the floor is yours.